All right, guys, we are back today with another banger LOL offseason story. Obviously, there's a ton going on in the world of League of Legends esports right now as Worlds and the offseason approaches and all that different stuff. So we have Eros here today because he's the man with the big scoops. He's got all the information, the contacts, all that good stuff. So Eros, how have things been going for you, as we get ready and approach this crazy offseason and all this stuff that's going on?
Well, for me, things are going good, Jen, because I just bought a knife on CS2, a bayonet knife Damascus Steel, which I'm enjoying a lot, and all these things. Hope the market crash again so I can buy a new knife. Everything, paid by Legulu. Thank you so much, Legulu. And nothing else to say. This off-season is one of the weirdest off-season I've experienced in my life because teams are doing a lot of weird stuff. So we are here basically to explain what the actual fact general managers are doing during this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sure people will be really happy to hear that the sheep esports money is going to the right places right now. Hopefully that works
Yeah.
out good for you.
Yeah,
But
obviously I'm watching your videos, Jen, about CS2, and I'm getting good scoops, good things because holy fuck, people are panic selling. Like Chinese people are panic selling all their objects. So basically, in the LEC, it's happening mostly the same, but instead of knives, it's with players. So everyone is panicking and trying to sell and move their players to other teams. So yeah, definitely, it's quite a similar thing right there.
yeah, no, I mean, obviously, it's a crazy time for people all over the place in a bunch of different situations right now. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we're here today because it sounds like you have a big scoop for us. It sounds like you have some of that craziness that's going on. So, what's the latest in the LEC? What's the big story today?
Well, basically, this video is recorded uh, before one that has a little bit more importance, let's say, but the thing and the topic that we will be discussing today is that Team Heretics, Spanish team, and Spanish leaguer here has allowed Sheo to explore their options for 2026, basically because Team Heretics is interested in signing Razork. Razork is one of the most desired junglers right now on the market, and even though this doesn't mean that Sheo is out 100% of Heretics for next year, obviously, if you are exploring your options, it's fair also for the player to explore his options, and maybe you get to find a deal that benefits both of you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's going to be a huge story because I know like something we had talked about as well was that Shio was a good player last year. Usually when you have one of your like team's top performing players and stuff like that, sometimes that's a guy you look to build around for the future, not a guy that you look to have him explore his options in the offseason and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that like a little bit weird? Is that a little bit
Well,
strange what
it's a little
Heretics is
bit
doing?
weird, Jen, because things have been changed on the last 2 weeks. As I told, for example, on my podcast, my favorite way to describe Team Heretics is a really weird team. They are a really weird team because, uh, for example, on the first days of season, where people started like maybe asking a bit about some players, getting to know more information and everything, Heretics had really clear that the only player they wanted to keep 100% for next year was Sheo. And this thing changed a lot in the last 10 days, obviously also because Razork is an insane player, insane jungler, and there's a big opportunity of market there, but yeah, Sheo was the centerpiece for the project, and now it's not, or at least not now. And one curious thing, for example, that I think that people will freak out a little bit and also enjoy about those season is that during the first days, BDS, which is the previous team of Sheo, asked about him to Team Heretics, and well, basically Heretics told them it was not for sale, but in the latest days, seems like Heretics and BDS have been talking a little bit more about Sheo.
Yeah, so just so many different moving parts. I know we talk about like the dominoes and stuff all the time. If this player ends up here, then this is going to happen and all that. Obviously, Razork is going to have a very, very competitive kind of market and stuff like that. So, I mean, is this like, does this make sense for Team Heretics? Are they going to have a good case and like a good, plan to get Razork? If they don't get Razork, are they going to be screwed? Are they going to be in a bad position now that they're maybe rubbing Sheo the wrong way?
Yeah.
How is this all going to
Well,
play out?
these are two different topics that, for example, I would like to ask yourself, you as North American, if you're watching LCS, for example, and there is a North American team, you prefer them to have like an NA player, right? Because you emphasize more with the team. Maybe you like it way more. For example, Team League with APA, which he's like Captain America. So obviously you will enjoy way more if a Spanish team like Heretics has a Spanish player, because your Spanish fan base will grow, and everything is more organic, So makes total sense for Heretics to try to get a player like Razork. Obviously, it's a little bit weird because Sheo has been the best player during this year for Heretics. Definitely the most solid one. So it's tough for Sheo. I think obviously when a team comes to you, when your team comes to you and tells you, okay, look, we are exploring another options. Maybe it's time for you to do it also.
Right.
You freak out a little bit, but I don't know how Sheo's feelings are right now. I like yourself, Jerm. Imagine you are a pro player, okay? I know you're like a CS2 addict, but imagine yourself, you're challenger, great at League of Legends, performing for a top team, and they come to you and they tell you that they maybe get another player. Maybe you think you're better than that guy, and in the end it doesn't happen. You will still feel the same way going into next year playing for them, or you think like the relationship is kind of fact.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I definitely think you could see it both ways. It's like at first, I want to be like, oh yeah, screw this team. Like I'm gonna go,
Yeah,
get on some better team and take them down and all that stuff. But then
yeah,
also, it's like it seems like some players as they mature and get older and understand all this stuff better, they're like, hey, it's a business, we got to look out for ourselves, the team have to look out for themselves and stuff. And so I don't know, I do get both sides of it. If somebody was rubbed the wrong way and wanted to get back at their team and wanted to go somewhere else, I get that. But if somebody else was like, hey, this is a business, I explore my options, you explore your options, if this is the best for both of us and you're paying me what I'm happy with and we have a good roster, then let's do it. So there's definitely maybe different ways that this could play out. Obviously, League of Legends gamers, younger people, whatever, they're probably skewed a little bit more towards the, hey, I want to get you guys back, screw you guys, all that type stuff.
yeah. Especially because League of Legends players are not mature, most of them,
Right.
like 80% of them. Yeah, so it's always like, oh, this guy is trying to fuck me up. Holy fucking shit! What are we going to do? I'm going to be unemployed. Holy crap! Why are they doing this to me? Like Mario Balotelli, when he got his shirt up and it was like, why always me? So that's League of Legends players when they're getting replaced. But I think like it's a really ambitious move by Heretics, and Sheo needs to understand that is, well, basically what I told you. He's a Razork is a Spanish jungler on a Spanish team, but if this does not happen in the end, I think Sheo should stay with Heretics, uh, and the highest possibility will be for him to stick with them and play next year with Heretics. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, I know obviously, Sheo, I know you said he still can remain with Heretics. That's still, definitely possible an option. And I know you talked about some of the other possibilities and stuff as well. But yeah, how would the market look like for him? Especially, like you said, a player like him who is coming off a good season, he has performance and stuff. The market should, theoretically be pretty strong for him. Is he going to have, good other options? If he does want to be like, hey, screw you Heretics, I'm going to go somewhere else and we're going to take you guys down, whatever. Are there going to be, decent options out there for him? Is he going to have
Well,
some of those?
this offseason is kind of tricky for Sheo. Basically, obviously, all the teams that are looking for Razor could be interested on Sheo. The thing is, for example, and this info is going to be revealed on, or was revealed on the video that was uploaded before, which is that Fnatic doesn't seem quite interested on SEO, so one less there, and it's kind of rough, you know. Maybe going back to BDS, but obviously on BDS, Striker is at least right now the head coach, and you know, Striker relationship and SEO is not the best one, so either one of them has to go out. So yep, it's kind of fucked up. Not gonna lie, if he can't stay on Heretics.
Yeah, so I mean, no matter what, how this whole situation ends up playing out, definitely sounds like it's going to be interesting. Sounds like there's tons of drama, tons of moving parts, tons of all that, and that's obviously, fans. We love the entertainment, we love the drama, we love the spiciness, and
Yeah,
and that's
like
what the offseason always brings.
yeah, for me, like the funniest scenario will be imagine, Jem, you're spending 200k on Bocada, which is the actual or the current jungler for BDS, which is someone that Striker presented to the team as the tool that they will use to get to Worlds. In the end, they finished like eighth place or seventh, so was quite far. But apart from that, you spent a lot of money on this signing, and you are already asking for another jungler, which is the jungler you had before that you didn't want to resign because Striker didn't want to have Sheo on his team, and now you're asking Heretics, and you will also have to pay a buyout for him. Like this scenario is definitely something to study of how to not operate on LEC by Team BDS.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, the memes are gonna be there, the
Yeah, like
comments,
the
all that
memes are
stuff,
going to be
like.
insane.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, just another instance of we see this all the time in all the different leagues, whatever. It's the League of Legends craziness, the management of teams, the roster creation, the roster construction, all of that. Obviously, it's all very difficult. It's very complicated, whatever. Obviously, maybe we'll be seeing LEC GM Eros here before his
Yeah,
career's
I
over.
think I could do this job better than some GMs. No joke. I've said this on my podcast. On my podcast, I even think, Germ, you could do this job better than some GMs because, for me, one of the biggest problems right now into off seasons is the lack of experience from some GMs. You know, for example, this is something quite organic that's happening right now, that some players retire and go to be coaches, and some coaches retire and go to be managers and all this stuff. So I expect in the next maybe 3-4 years to that coaches retire and becomes managers, which I think it will be like peak of League of Legends managers and everything. Because right now there is some people that doesn't know about league, that doesn't know when a player is good, what is the value of a player, and that's what causes sometimes uh, some movements that people freak out, which is the example of Bocada, of BDS paying 200k for Bocada, and then SK coach coming in an interview and saying that he would have sold him for 60k, but one day BDS came, like, wake up and offer them 200k. So how can I say no to that? And all these things, you know. So I think it's a matter of time that things evolve and we get better GMs.
Yeah, I mean, like we are still very, very early in the whole League of Legends esports scene and all that stuff. This thing's going to
Mm-hmm.
play out and develop over time. And yeah, like you said, people are going to get more experience. People are going to retire, move into those bigger roles. The best minds and all that stuff. It's all going to play out, but it's all going to be very, very interesting to watch. Again, it's very fun on the outside to be a fan of all this, to get to see the entertainment, the drama, the spiciness, all that good stuff. And it seems like we have another one of those stories playing out right in front of our eyes right now. But the latest news from Eros here, obviously that Sheo is being allowed to explore his options in the offseason. Yeah, wherever he ends up, whether it's back with his original team or somewhere else in the LEC, is definitely going to be a story to watch for the rest of the offseason. And we will definitely be bringing you guys all the latest updates and the news in that story and plenty of others in League of Legends offseason as this all develops. So thank you so much for Eros for joining us here today. Hopefully everything ends up working out for you well. And hopefully we'll catch you guys real soon as
Thank
well.
you guys. Thank you guys. Tell Germ, everyone in the comments, to give me a knife, please. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Love you all.